Hi, I'm Janine from Purple Room Yoga, and today we're going to go over tortoise pose. Tortoise pose is a relatively advanced pose, and for people with a good amount of flexibility in the spine and the hips and the hamstrings. But Corie Feiner, whose poetry I love, is doing tortoise pose, so I am doing tortoise pose. So start in bound angle pose because you need a little bit of warm up before you get to tortoise. Grabbing onto the shins, sitting up tall. Feel the heels together, knees apart, letting the knees just drop open. And if you want to sit on a block or a towel for a little support, feel free to do that. You can stay vertical or tip forward with a flat back. Maybe reach the arms forward. Maybe melt forward over the legs. Taking this pose and staying maybe 5 to 10 breaths, just allowing your body to melt forward into the pose, feeling the stretch in the back and the hips and the inner thighs. Using your inhale to lengthen the spine. Using your exhale just to soften into that length. And once you've hung out in bound angle for a little bit, then come back up to sit, leave the knees where they are, and extend the legs out to the side for Upavishta Konasana, wide angled pose. So reaching out through the heel, knees and toes point to the ceiling. In this variation, you're going to keep the spine straight. So it's really about the tip of the pelvis. Not getting the head to the floor, but trying to get the pubic bone to the floor. And you're just going to walk yourself forward and go as far forward as your body allows, melting forward over the legs. Try not to let the legs roll in. Keep the legs active. Quads are working. Knees and toes are pointing to the ceiling. And again, you're going to stay in this pose for maybe 5 to 10 breaths, using your inhale to lengthen the spine, and then your exhale just to tip the pelvis. Because what happens is if you get your head to the floor, you actually lose the stretch that you're going for. By keeping the spine straight and tipping the pelvis, you really feel the pose a lot more, and you get that nice inner thigh opening and hamstring opening that you're actually looking for, which will prepare you for tortoise pose. So from Upavishta, you're going to walk the legs in just a little bit so they're not quite as wide. If you're practicing in the direction of your mat, sometimes, just slightly wider than mat width. And then bend the knees and walk your torso forward between the thighs. So that same tip of the pelvis we just had in Upavishta, that's what you want here. You're going to slide the arms underneath the legs so that the hands are flat on the floor. You're kind of walking the shoulders as far under the legs as you can. Now this might be as far as you go, and that's fine. You might feel a nice lower back stretch, a hip opening. What you want to do eventually is slide the legs forward, which is going to bring your forehead or your chin to the floor. And maybe if you're flat on the floor, you can reach the legs out and float the feet off the floor. It's a lot of pressure on your arms, so go easy. This has a much more rounded position, hence the name tortoise. You can stay here. Maybe you bring the hands behind the lower back and try to connect the hands. Maybe you walk the feet toward each other in front of you. And you tuck your head inside your feet. For sleeping yogi. These are all sorts of, again, more advanced variations if that's what your body allows. Just letting the head drop. And so that's tortoise pose. You're rounding the spine kind of like a tortoise, and your arms are tucked under the legs. I hope that clears things up. Thanks for watching.